Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Why in the Truck. This is episode number 7. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing great. It is currently Thursday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Big day, big day, big day, big day, big day. Right? Well, just before I get into the episode, a little bit of gloating and showboating. Last night was my anniversary with my girlfriend, and my lovely girlfriend gave me a lovely iPad mini for an anniversary gift. It's a 32 black. It's the one that I wanted. Wi-Fi only. Very nice, very beautiful. I still have to get a cover for it, but yeah, iPad mini, guys. I don't know. I just wanted to brag. I don't know many people that have an iPad mini. I'm actually the first one of my friends to get one. And I know when people might say, why didn't you just wait for the next one? Get the one with the retina when it comes out. I'm like, I don't care. I want one now. I don't want one later. If I wanted one later, I would have waited. Anyways. Alright, so, getting on with today's episode, let's get down to that nitty and gritty, guys. There is the reason I have my iPad with me. And that is to have a listing on it of stuff that I want to talk, well, not stuff that I want to talk about, but today I feel like doing a top 10, guys. A top 10. And if you kind of guessed by the music that I'm going to have inserted into the video, yeah, there's a reason I'm wearing green, and that's because it's time for some Legend of Zelda. So, Legend of Zelda, what top 10s can I do? I could go, top 10 monsters, top 10 items, top 10 dungeons. Fuck it, I'm going old school. Let's do top 10, my top 10 favorite Zelda games. Now, I'm not gonna say that each one of these is the all-time best Zelda game to ever come out in this whole universe ever, but I will say they're the best ones in my opinion. A little warning and foreboding. I'm not. Nah, forget it. I'll keep it in suspense. Anyways, guys, so The Legend of Zelda, we have a very long series here, guys. These games have been around now for, give or take, 27 years now, man. 27 years is a long time to have a franchise, and we are currently sitting at 9, 12, 16 games. Yeah, 16 games. Well, 19 if you count those 3 we shall not mention. But let's, again, not mention those. So, yeah, guys, 16 games. We got a lot of, I can't really think of a single Zelda game that I don't like. Okay, wait, I lied. I kind of don't like Zelda 2. But, yeah, if you guys thought that I was going to put Zelda 2 on this list, there you go, I'm not, because I don't like it. I think that's the only Zelda, actually, I don't like. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's the only Zelda game I have played to date that I haven't enjoyed. It's the only one that's not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong here. Anyways, so guys, top 10 Zelda games, and here we go. So, another thing I also want to put is how many times I've played through each game, which I'll go ahead and I'll put in a little counter right down there. My usual top 10 thing with I'll put a play count on there. That'll say how many times I've actually played through the game from beginning to end to completion, not counting times where I've started the game and not completed it. Because I kind of feel like that takes away from the experience. Anyways, guys, so top 10 Zelda games. To start off, number 10 is going to be Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Minish Cap. Actually, wasn't a game that too many people I knew played. It was a game that came out on the GBA, if I'm not mistaken, around 2005, 2004, on there. Definitely, I find it to be an okay Zelda game. It's not my favorite in the bunch, obviously, if it's at number 10. But, between the mechanics, I found that it really controlled well. I mean, the small to large gameplay, it's kind of whatever. The puzzles were They were okay. But in truth, I've only ever finished it once, and I liked it. I mean, I liked it more than, you know, the other games that are missing on this list. But, you know, there could have been a little improvement. But that being said, it is still a very, very, very good Game Boy Advance game. Definitely one I'd recommend to anybody to try out. And plus, if you guys have your 3DSs, and if you got them early like I did, then you'll have the Ambassador program, and you'll actually have access to it already to play on your 3DS, so you don't got to look out for it on the old carts for the GBA. Alright? So, that does it for number 10. Number 9, we're going to go with Legend of Zelda. I'm sorry if I'm looking down, guys. For the beginning ones, I don't have them all sorted out exactly in my head, so that's why I got my nifty iPad with me. Just kind of, you know, glancing down and reading that all off the top of my head. But once I get to like number 6 or 7, say, or 5 or 6, I'll actually just poof, it'll come at me. Anywho, number 9 is, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, The Legend of Zelda, the original one. Now, a lot of people might be saying, you know, well, why did you put Zelda so low? I mean, it is the one that started the whole thing. You know, it's a classic, yada, 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 the best. Shut up. No. Well, I do feel that The Legend of Zelda, the first one, is a really good game. And I do feel that it has a lot of merits to it, and I can see where the series grew from here. But that being said, it is the first game that was made into series. You know, the game itself was very experimental. Kind of more, it was an adventure game, yes, but it was kind of aimless. It's like, okay, go find the Triforce. Get your sort of power link. Here, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, I got sword. What do? Like, yes, it's an adventure, and yes, I'm sure. Like for when it first came out, it was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to go wherever I want, and I gotta find the dungeons by myself. But now you play it nowadays, and it's like, I gotta find where I gotta go, and nobody's telling me nothing, and what the fuck am I doing? You know, I mean, at least most Zelda games, they'll give you a general location to go. You know, like, hey, go to Death Mountain. Okay, what do I do there? You'll find out when you get there. Okay, well, at least I know to go there. With Zelda 1, it's like, okay, here's your sword. Okay, what do I do? Where am I going to find these 8 pieces of Triforce? They're in dungeons! Where's the dungeons? I don't know. Honestly. It's like, you're shit out of luck, buddy boy. Find your own damn dungeons. And as much as it's a really good game, that aspect of it just doesn't appeal to me at all. At all. Alright. Yeah. Moving on. Number 8. It's gonna go out to Link's Awakening. Anyways, Link's Awakening. It was the first handheld Zelda to ever come out. The first ever handheld Zelda. And for the limited technology that the Game Boy had at the time, and when it later got re-released for the Game Boy Color with added color and the added dungeon, whatever. You know, the game itself. It was pretty bare bones. You know, it felt a lot like the Zelda, like the original Legend of Zelda, just kind of, you know, amped up and actually given a cohesive, you know, like, story, kind of, you know. It wasn't as much of a, okay, blah, you know, go wherever, but it wasn't like, okay, go to the dungeon over here. It's kind of like, okay, just, you have a map to explore, you get a new item, find where you need to go. You know, and again, that's not a bad thing. And it's not like I'm saying that I like to be, you know, I like my hand being held wherever I'm going. Like, oh, you need to go over here. Use your item on that. Yeah. I'm not saying that, but I mean, like, you know, there are limits as to, okay, what do I do now? I mean, you run around the map for, you know, 60 minutes trying to find where the fuck I need to go. That's just stupid. But, no, I mean, at least Link's Awakening didn't have that. You know, the story I found kind of whatever, in the sense of like, okay, you need to get off the island, wake up the windfish. Oh, the windfish was just dreaming. The island was a dream. So does that mean that when they found Link and he was sleeping, was he having a dream on a dream? Zeldaception? But no, I mean, one of the definite saving graces is the fact that it was a portable Zelda and it was really good for a portable one. And also the music was just fucking fantastic. Tall heights, and especially the Battle of the Windfish. Battle of the Windfish is still actually not only one of my favorite Zelda songs, but it's, I mean, it's not gonna, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite song of all time, but it's up there. It's a really good song, you know. Speaking of which, if for Battle of the Windfish, if you guys have ever heard of a guy on YouTube called Spontaneous, then you know what I'm saying when you should go check it out. But if you haven't heard of Spontaneous, go check out Spontaneous. He only has like 6 videos up, but he makes music using like weird instruments, but it's all Zelda music. And one of them is the Battle of the Windfish with like children's toys. Really, really well. Go check it out, guys. Anyways, moving on to number 7. Number 7 is going to have to go out to Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess. Now, I personally had Twilight Princess on the Wii. Of course, you know, there are the Wii and the GameCube versions. They're kind of, you know, the same-ish, except for everything's on the right-hand side, the other one, everything's mirrored, you know. But anyways, to the gameplay, Twilight Princess. Now for Twilight Princess, I gotta say, guys, I wanted to put this game higher on my list. I really did. Everything in this game, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, the game was too muddy, it looked really bad, like, it looked odd, it was all this mud, this dark, Zelda's supposed to be vibrant, full of life. And I will say that, yes, Zelda's supposed to be all green and vibrant, you know, not so muddy and all that shit. But, I mean, really, the game was really solid. I liked the art direction. It was a good step from, you know, what we had before, which was, you know, hit after hit after hit of Wind Waker style graphics. You know, so like Toon Link, you know, Wide-Eyed Link. But yeah, like that Toon version. And this was the first time that we saw Link as a non-Toon since as an adult since Ocarina of Time. You know, and I thought the design was really good. It was a really edgy version of Link. I like the design a lot. The music was okay, you know, it was standard Zelda fare, nothing really blew my socks off, but it was still, you know, tunes I can listen to a lot, especially the overworld theme for Hyrule Field. But the one thing that holds it back from really being up there in my list of Zelda games is the fact that the dungeons just were not memorable for me. I actually don't remember a single dungeon from Twilight Princess. I remember some of the concepts. I remember there was the dungeon with all the spinner puzzles, and I remember liking that dungeon a lot because the spinner was a cool idea when you would be, you know, hanging on walls and shit, and you know, and then when you let go, you're just kind of like doing nothing. And I thought that was kind of lame, but I thought the spinner as a whole was a really good idea. I remember the magma, like a magma-ish dungeon where you had to use the iron boots to magnetize yourself. I remember that. I know there was what, like another 9 dungeons? No, I lied. Hold on, there's like 9 dungeons in the whole freaking game. So there's like 7 other dungeons that I don't remember. I don't remember them. That's a problem, guys. I mean, Zelda's all about the, well, I'm not gonna say it's all about the dungeons, but a good chunk of it is the dungeons and the puzzles, and I don't remember it. I think that's the one reason. That's the one thing that kind of keeps Twilight Princess really low. I mean, I wanted to put it higher if it wasn't just for the fact that the dungeons weren't memorable enough for me. Here we go. It commenced the shitstorm. Number 6. Number 6 is, again, commence the shitstorm. So when I say commence the shitstorm, I'm figuring you guys already know what I'm going to say. Number 6 is going to be Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, highly regarded as not only the best Zelda game, not only the best N64 game, but the best game of all time. What? Bitch, you crazy. Yeah, guys, I mean, I liked Ocarina of Time a lot. I liked it. I mean, as much as I like any other Zelda game, I like Ocarina of Time a whole snuggly bunch. But it wasn't there for me. Yes, the dungeons look nice, and yes, you know, this whole, like, new 3D Zelda, it's phenomenal and all that shit, but, like, have you guys played the original Ocarina of Time lately? Like, it looks not that nice. And now, you might be saying, but Alex, that's an N64 title. All 3D games look like shit back then. Have you played Majora's Mask? It looks nice as fuck. Okay? Compared to fucking Ocarina of Time, it's the same fucking sprites. Same sprites. No different. Maybe they painted the hair on some people wrong, differently. Whoa! Same sprites, same engine. No. Oh, God, I don't know. Yes, there's so many memorable songs from Ocarina of Time. Yes! Oh, man, some of the fucking character designs are fucking sick. But oh my God, I never finished it when I was little. So it just doesn't resonate with me until, you know, when I first beat the game, I was like 13. 13! That was the first time I beat the game. And I don't know, you might be saying, oh, well, that's the reason why you don't like it more. Maybe it is, but I don't have a love for it like I see so many other people have. Saying Majora's Mask is the best thing since fucking sliced bread. It's the best thing to happen to video games since Miyamoto. Well, to other people. For me, it's the best thing to happen to video games since E-Toy. But anyways. Yeah. Ocarina of Time. Way overblown out of proportion in my honest opinion. That's the reason it's staying at a shallow number 6. But yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Trust me. I like the game, and I like the game a lot. I just don't like it all that much. I'm not gonna be like, best game ever, best Zelda game ever, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, sorry, guys. Not for me. Anyways, moving on to number 5. And number 5, why the freak can't I remember what number 5 is? Thank you for iPad. Link to the Past. I don't know why the hell I couldn't remember the name. I had the picture in my head. I couldn't remember it. I don't know why. Anyways, number 5, Link to the Past. Link to the Past. Why did I place Link to the Past over Ocarina of Time? Very simple, very, very simple reasoning, my friends. I fucking loved Link to the Past a lot. I felt that Link to the Past, it was the first game to invoke the light world, dark world thing. I don't know what it was. I mean, the story was okay. I mean, it was still a shallow story. I mean, it wasn't Zelda 1 shallow, but it was still shallow. It wasn't like Ocarina of Time. That Ocarina of Time at least had, like a more in-depth narrative to it. It had fucking time traveling, for God's sakes. But just the gameplay of A Link to the Past was just so excellent, and the way that everything just flowed from one thing into another was really, really good. And the music, oh my God, the music is the stuff of legends. Legend of Zelda, Legends. Yeah, guys, Link to the Past. I have too many good memories of that game, and the legacy of this game is so embedded into my heart that. Okay, just, a little story time for you guys. Story time with Alex. When I was 21, that's when my resurgence into retro gaming really started taking foot. I wanted fucking to play so many retro games at that point. That's when I got my SNES again. Originally, when I was about 12, I gave my SNES to my cousins in Cuba, and I regretted that once I turned 19. I was like, oh my god, why did I do this? Why did I do that? I was so dumb. I had so many good games. I had so many good games. DKC 2, all of them actually, 1 through 3. Mario World, Star Fox. Back then, I didn't get that many games for it because my parents would never give me money for them. But I had a cool 8 games that I had and I really cared for. And when I got my SNES again, one of the games I got again was Link to the Past. Now, from then on, my 21st birthday, I got my SNES, and I have a tradition in my house where I usually open up my presents at midnight on Christmas. You know, I'm not the kind of guy that's like, wait till the next morning. No, it's dumb. 21 for God's sake. I'm 23 now, but you know what I mean. So I'm opening up my gifts, and I saw that my girlfriend got me a SNES again with Link to the Past as one of the games. I got like 7, 8 games that year. I forget which ones specifically, but yeah, I got like 7 or 8 of them. One of them was Link to the Past. And from that Christmas onwards, so it's 3 years now in the making, I've stayed up playing Link to the Past from beginning to end. Usually takes me, my record nowadays is about 7 or 8 hours. No, more like 6 hours or so. Yeah, it used to take me a long time. Nowadays I'm a little faster at it. But just, wow, guys. Like, really, just, wow. Link to the Past. Good memories. Really good game. Moving on. Number 4. Now, number 4 is gonna go down to Wind Waker. Okay? Little story time. Wind Waker, I originally did not like it. Not a good game in my book. Didn't want any part of Wind Waker. It was, and my brother still hates it. I mean, still not hates it, but he refused to play it for the same reason that I originally didn't like it. And that was the art direction. I thought the art direction was horrible. What is this? This Toon Link? Oh, God. This world looks so weird. Oh, man. This is horrible. What the fuck happened to Link? No. But once I, grew the fuck up, and actually gave the game a chance, I fucking fell in love with it. And the main reason that I like it so much is not because I forgave the art direction or because the story was really good, which it was. The story was actually, it was a little different for a Zelda game, a little bit different. Spoiler warning, Tetra's Zelda. Where the fuck did that come from? Okay. Whatever. Just, I fell in love with the game because of the music. And more specifically, the Ocean song, or the Great Sea, whatever you want to call it, because I've seen the name 20 different billion ways. But that song single-handedly made me want to play Wind Waker more and more. The reason being is because that song alone, you could put it to any adventure game, whether if it's Zelda, I don't care what it is. You can put that song anywhere, and it invokes a sense of adventure and fun that it makes you want to adventure more. It makes you want to quest. It makes you want to save the princess. But yeah, I mean, I really like the game. When I first started playing it, and like you're on Windfall Island, or Outset Island, should I say? I'm like, okay, yeah, this is okay. Zelda, this is fun. This is cool. Oh, I got a talking boat. That's fucking odd. Okay. Okay. There, I got your sail back. Okay, so we gotta go across the... This is gonna be like Epona? Okay. What the... What's that music? That music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, that like it made the whole deal for me. And like sailing in that game is so fun. Just the sense of exploration, such a big world, you know, a big sea that you could explore. Oh man, there was so much to that game that it made it past what I felt that it would really gonna. It surprised me. Just say it surprised me. A really good game. Anyways, moving on to number 3. Number 3 is going to be Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. What's that? Zelda Skyward Sword before Ocarina of Time? No. Yes. Skyward Sword. There was a point where I was playing Skyward Sword right around when you first started. You're in the Elden Woods, and or the Faron Woods, should I say? It's the Elden Volcano. When you're in the Faron Woods and you're going towards the first dungeon, that I said to myself, God damn, this game looks nice. It does. It looks, I mean, for a Wii game in, you know, and it's supposed to be, you know, like standard definition, you know, not even 720p. The game looks really nice. I mean, I could see this game being on like the Wii U. I mean, of course with better graphics, but I mean, I could see this as like a launch title for the Wii U from how the graphically speaking, gameplay speaking. I mean, the sword controls, it works great. The Wii Motion Plus works absolutely fantastic with the Wiimote for this game. And you know, yes, there are some puzzles where like, okay, you have to swing in this specific direction. Camera kind of fell there, sorry guys. I'm on an incline. Sorry for that, guys. I apologize. Anyways, like I was trying to say, the motion controls, yes, there are some puzzles where you gotta swing in a specific direction from the motion controls, but it doesn't feel too cumbersome. It's not like the Wii version of Twilight Princess. I killed it! There it is! He's dead. That's lame. That's lame. Now, you know, actually, like, you know, tracking your movements with your sword and being able to strike, that's kind of cool. I like that. You know? And I personally felt that Skyward Sword, there was a lot to it. I like, of course, the music again. The music is fucking fantastic. The art direction, everything looks really nice. Gameplay isn't too bad. I don't care when anybody tells me, I don't want to play with motion controls. Give me a regular controller. Shut the fuck up. God damn. You know how many people refuse to play Skyward Sword because they don't want to do motion controls. Keep in mind, these are all the same people I know that say they don't want to play Wind Waker because the art direction is shit. Ugh, God. Get over it. Anyways, it's just, I feel that Skyward Sword is not only one of my favorite Zelda games, but actually one of the best. It's at number 3. You know, the 2 that are at number 2 and 1, I like a lot more. But that being said, this could easily be one of my tops. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Number 2. Now, number 2 is a tie. Not really, because I just can't put these games separately. Number 2 spot goes to the Oracle games, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. Now, for those of you who never seen the Oracle games, there were these 2 games that came out on the Game Boy Color around 2001, I believe-ish, 2001 or 2000, around there. And there were 2 adventures, 2 completely separate adventures, but that when you beat one, you get a code at the end, and then you can start a new game in the other, and it continues the story, almost as if, you know, it was a full length thing. But that being said, it didn't feel like, okay, I beat one game, transfer my items into the next one. No. there was actually, you know, like, instead of at the end, like, let's say you played Ages first and then you transferred into Seasons. When you started Seasons, there were some things that weren't there normally. Like, you'd have some side missions, and you'd actually see Zelda instead of just seeing the Oracle from the specific game that you're playing. That being Din for the Oracle of Seasons, and Nehru for the Oracle of Ages. You know, you actually saw Zelda. Like, you actually got to, you know, you got to rescue Zelda from Ganon again, and that was cool. It felt like, you know, it felt like the two games were connected in a way, even though they weren't even set in the same land. They were set in two different lands, a Holodrum and Labrina. But that being said, the games just felt so good. Now, I've played these games, both of them together. Well, separately, I've played them, you know, I've played Seasons more than I have Ages. But together, every time that I've played Ages, I've gone forward and done Seasons as well. I cannot recommend these games enough for any Zelda fan. If you haven't played it, which I bet you if you haven't played it, you're not a Zelda fan. Or for, you know, anybody who just who's looking to get into a Zelda game, you know, and just has a Game Boy hanging around, guys, get Seasons or get Ages. Although, keep in mind that there is a difference between the two. Seasons is more action-orientated, Ages is more puzzle-orientated. And I'll tell you right now, I do like Seasons a whole lot more, if only because the 7th dungeon in Ages, Jabu Jabu's Belly, unless you have a guide or extreme patience, that dungeon it kind of wears on you a little bit. But outside of that, they're both excellent games. Together, they make one great, grand, cohesive adventure that anybody should play. And like I said, guys, this isn't just one of my favorite Zelda games. It's not just one of my favorite, you know, handheld games. It's my favorite Game Boy game of all time, and that's saying something because I like Pokemon a whole lot. I still like Oracle of Ages and Oracle Seasons a shit ton more. Alright, so we are at number 1, guys, but before we get to number 1, let's go ahead and do a recap, alright? So, number 10 goes to Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Number 9, Legend of Zelda, the original. Number 8 goes to, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Number 7 goes to Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Oh, what the fuck am I saying Legend of Zelda for? You already know what it's for. Number 6 goes to Ocarina of Time. Number 5 goes to Link to the Past. Number 4 goes to Wind Waker. Number 3, Skyward Sword. And number 2 goes to both the Legend of Seasons and the the Oracle of Seasons and the Oracle of Ages combined together. Now, number 1. Number 1, if you guys have been paying attention so far, you know what game's at number 1. It's Legend of Zelda. Wait, The Legend of Link. Faces of Evil. Nah, I'm playing, guys. I would never do that to you. Why would I put Faces of Evil? Are you crazy? What? Am I high? And plus, nobody mentions the CDI games, right? Just kidding. Number 1, Zelda's Adventure. Nah, I'm playing. Number 1 goes to Majora's Mask, guys. Now, I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Majora's Mask, it's just the game. It took everything that I loved about Zelda and twisted it into a crazy, maniacal way. It feels like some sort of, like, Link's psychotic dream. Alright? From the fact that you have Zelda, not Zelda, you have Link, and everybody looks like, you know, folks from Ocarina of Time, and, you know, everybody looks the same, except they're kind of doing different roles, and it's just kind of crazy, but the gameplay is just really, really solid. The way they use the masks, which I felt the masks in Ocarina of Time were a completely useless item. Like, you could have replaced the masks with anything else, like idols or statues or fucking letters for all I know. And that the Happy Mask Salesman game would have been the exact fucking same. But in Majora's Mask, they took that mask concept and they ran with it. I mean, I love all of the transformations, especially the Zora transformation. I don't know why, but I enjoy the way that it handles. And plus, it really is, like, if I'm not mistaken, Chugga Conroy said this, but it really is the best swimming controls I've ever used. It's just, it works. It's fluid. It's good. Now, Majora's Mask is the one game that I have played the most out of all the Zelda games. More than ages, more than seasons, and I have the counter down there so you can see it. It's a high number. And that's not, I'm not, like I said before, guys, that isn't like me starting a game and then not finishing it. That's just, you know, that's me from start to end. That number, that's from start to finish. It's a lot. And it weirds me out that this, of all Zelda games, is my favorite. Especially since I'm not that kind of a dark, you know, emo goth motherfucker, you know. I'm not to say that people like Majora's Mask are emo goth guys, but I mean, you know, this is the darkest Zelda there is. You know, not color speaking, or else Twilight Princess would be the darkest Zelda there is, but like mood speaking, this is the darkest, the most, you know, emotionally heavy Zelda game. There's a lot of things here. You have 3 days to save the world or the world is destroyed. You have the moon crashing. The Anjo and Cafe quest itself it's pretty intense. If you think about it, there's all the symbolism in Majora's Mask, and everything about it just makes it go so far in my book. It really is, dude. Guys, it's my #1 favorite Zelda game ever created. Now, my last little bit of history for you guys today. I don't like the N64 as a system. Go figure. In fact, the whole 32-bit, 64-bit generation, that 5th generation of consoles, I didn't really like it very much. Yeah, some of the best games to ever come out ever were made in that era. You know, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, in my opinion. Anything made by Square back then. Square was king. Ocarina of Time, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64. No. Crazy. Smash Bros. So many games. So I can't count them all. But I disliked the N64. And I had one. It was like the 3rd console I ever owned, the N64. 3rd console. That was mine. And I had a lot of games for it, you know, a lot of games. But Majora's Mask is still, I've long since sold my my Nintendo 64, and I don't have it. I don't have any games for it. When I sold my N64, I remember because I went to a GameStop and I traded it in for Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Back when, you know, the N64 was like out the door pretty much, and GameStop was like finishing taking trade-ins. I traded in my N64 and all my games in a Publix bag to get Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, except for one game. That's Majora's Mask. And I had, like I said, guys, I had a lot of N64 games. The only one I kept was Majora's Mask, because this game, it left impact on my life. You know, you'll hear a lot of people say how the first Zelda impacted them greatly, or how Ocarina of Time impacted them greatly, and all that shit. But the first Zelda game I ever played, the first one I ever played, was Ocarina of Time. And, you know, while Ocarina of Time had captured my attention, you know, and it made me want to play more, that's when I played, like, I went back and I played, you know, like, the past, Link's Awakening, But it wasn't until Majora's Mask came out that my fandom in the Zelda franchise was set in stone. Majora's Mask solidified that for the rest of eternity. So, if it wasn't for Majora's Mask, I don't think I'd be into Zelda as much as I am nowadays. It's, technically speaking, it's the first Zelda game I've ever finished from beginning to end by myself without any assistance from another person having to beat a boss for me. Like back then, I had beaten Ocarina of Time, but I couldn't finish the Water Temple. I had one of my friends finish the Water Temple for me, and I had problems with Ganon back then in his final form. So I never really beat Ocarina of Time until I was 13 when I actually went through it. But yeah, Majora's Mask is definitely one of my favorites. Not only one of my favorite Zelda games, not only one of my only likable N64 games, one of my favorite games ever created. Alright guys, so that does it for the my top 10 favorite Zelda games. I know this has been a long video. My timer is saying 41 minutes. It's been a long drive back home from my girlfriend's job that I went to go visit her today. So yeah guys, this is it. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. You have no idea how much that shit helps me out. And please, I want to know what are your favorite Zelda games? Give me your top 10. You know, I mean, again, there's only like 16 games in the series, so I mean, I'm sure top 10 lists are going to be too deathly different. But everybody has an opinion, guys. Hey man, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, you know. So I want to hear what your opinion is, guys. So thanks a lot. Thanks for hearing me, ramble about my favorite Zelda games. I don't know why I'm in such a Zelda mood. I think this is my Hyrule Historia came in like about 2 weeks ago, and I've been reading that. But yeah, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Have a nice life. Whatever the fuck. Just get the fuck out of here.